My beautiful people, once again, you're welcome to Say It All with myself, Emmy Akura, where, as I always say to you guys, that behind every successful episode of the Easy Show, there is a beautiful, a handsome guest behind. Today, I have with me a handsome guest that we're going to be talking about something that is very important, something that's very dear to my heart, something that I feel a lot of people need to learn from. I have with me this guest who is going to introduce himself. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, and how are you, sir?
I'm good. Please, can you introduce yourself to the viewers out there?
My name is Tikla Fashion. Tikla Fashion.
Tikla.
Yeah, Tikla Fashion from
Fashion.
Hitler.
Oh, wow. So tell us more about you. People want to know you. Tell them more about you.
Tikla Fashion is a fashion designer.
A fashion designer.
Yeah. He owns a brand called Manula.
Manula.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He's well supported by his girlfriend. I just want to mention that.
Hey,
So,
yeah, man, I like that.
Yeah.
A partner support him in his business. That's powerful.
That's dope.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Many a times you see a lot of people who are not comfortable in saying that. They don't want to say that. Okay, I'm working with my girlfriend.
I don't understand why, but
because a lot of them still want to play. No, it's the truth. A lot of them want to play. That's why they're not confident enough to say that I have a girlfriend who's supporting me in what I do. Making sure that we're building a home. All right. So today we're going to talk about something that's very important. Like I said before, we're talking about at what stage of a child's life do you think, or at what age do you think this is the right time for me to talk to them about sex, educate them, sex education? That is what we're talking about basically. What do you think about that topic?
Personally, I just feel like parents should just tell their kids before they finish primary. Yeah, they must just know. As soon as you hit grade 7, grade 6, grade 7, you should know what's going on about sex, because teenage pregnancy is just getting so much right now. You get to high school, you sing dust. So yeah.
You hit something that before we go further, I want to share a story.
Okay.
There's a soapy called Super Story, and on this particular episode, the child was 14. The girl was 14. She came back from school one day because she heard the teacher spoke about sex. They gave them sex education.
Yeah.
So she came back home and she said to Mom, what is sex? The mother started beating her up. Like, who told you about sex? At this age, this girl, you're going to kill me, you're going to do all these things. It was crazy. So now she thought, okay, sex is an abomination. She went to a house help who was a guy and said to the guy that, please, can I talk to you? I don't want to talk to my parents. The guy said, okay, what can I say? I want to know what sex is. The guy said, you want to know what sex is? He said, yes, I will teach you what sex is. She became so excited. So this guy impregnated that girl.
Straight into action.
Straight up. It was, I'm going to teach you, but don't tell anybody. I know this girl was quiet about it because her mom reaction already told her that sex is something you're not supposed to tell anybody. So the guy took advantage. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why the topic that we're talking about today is very important, in the sense that I feel it's imperative for every parent to make sure they educate their kids about what sex is.
Yeah, true.
Like you say, when they are primary and in
they
the primary,
must know before the end of primary.
Let them know. As a parent, tell them, my child, this you should do this, or this is what this is all about. If you do this is the consequences. Right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Because the level
it does make sense. Actually, even when you tell the kids, you don't have to beat around the bush and just try to beautify the whole situation. Sex is sex.
Say it the way it is. You
can't be lying to the kid.
Depravity.
Know what's going on.
So let me tell you, depravity is normalized, especially when it comes to us Christians. You have pastors kids are the worst.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to say this. I'm not trying to castigate anyone, because they are so spoiled in the sense that they do things because their parents don't pay attention. Their parents feel everything the Holy Spirit must fight. It's not.
And going into religion, man, it's gonna be another topic.
No, we're not talking about religion. I'm just giving instances that when you talk about the issue of sex, many of those pastors don't want to open. They don't want to even mention those names to their kids. They feel, oh no, as a pastor, I'm not supposed to. I can't be talking about sex with my child. I can't be, it to be me corrupting them and all those things. And they are leaving those kids to go learn outside,
which is rough outside. outside it's action. And action brings shit.
Outside is action, man. It's not a play game. It's not a
Don't
joke.
play.
The guys
Don't
out there are
play.
not playing.
Yeah.
You see a pastor child come to you, the next thing you want to show them, teach them the way you can. So that's why I agree with what you're saying. It is important that as parents you should talk to your kids. Tell them. So what do you say to the parents who feel that, okay, you know what? My baby is just
Too young.
10 years old or 11 years. I can't talk to them about sex.
Firstly, the parents must know that if I don't tell them about sex, something might happen and it's gonna be out of their power. It's gonna be too late. So just do what you have to do. Tell your kid what's going on. Tell them about sex. Teach them about sex. If you have sex, you're gonna have a kid.
Yes.
So it's
You're gonna
always
get
like
HIV.
that, yeah.
You're gonna get all these things.
It's always
You
like
know?
that. So you can't run away from it, but you just have to be honest. Deep down, even if this conversation is hard, you can't tell your kid, yo, this is what's happening, but you must do the right thing. Because guys out here, they're chowing. Sorry. But guys are dangerous.
I love this. We're saying it the way it is because this is Say It All. On Say It All, that is what we do. We don't reserve anything that we say. We're talking about the issue of sex. And like my guest is talking about, you should say everything the way it is. Don't try to manipulate words. When you're talking about sex with your kids, teach them. Call the names. Let them know.
Yeah.
So that when they go out there, they say, oh, my mother told me no. My father told me this and
yeah.
this is not right. So I shouldn't do it. But when you hide it, that's when they try to find it outside. And it's rough.
It's going to be tough.
It's going to be very tough.
Very tough.
The likes of the camels are going to chop you out there. Trust me. If you don't take time, they're going to chop you out there. You have the bones out there. These guys don't play. These guys, when they see you, you come to them for advice. They give you a raw advice.
Give you advice in action.
They don't.
It's rough.
It is rough out there. All right, man. We're still here talking about the issue of sex. At what stage do you think is the right time for you to talk to your kids about sex? What do you think? We would like to hear your contributions. We'd like to know what you think the stage. What is the age that you feel your kids should know about sex? Because when I was growing up, nobody gave me that education. Nobody.
I feel like most of the people right now, even now, it's still gonna continue. Most of them, they're not telling them about sex. Even me, when I was growing up, it's just like that. You just have to have the guts to do that, and it takes guts actually to tell your kid about sex, because thinking about it's actually a tough situation. So it's getting deep and deep. It's always quiet. They don't say anything about it. But if you have the courage to do that, just shoot your shot.
Wow. All right, then to the beautiful viewers out there, we're still talking about sex, man. This is a topic that the sex that we're talking about, trust me, we understand the implication of what we're saying, and we understand the fact that a lot of people, like you said, is a very difficult topic because people look at it that, okay, how can I be talking to my 9-year-old or my 7 or 10 years old about sex? But trust me, if you cannot educate these kids at home, somebody is going to teach them out there. The camels, the bonganis of this world, they're going to educate them in a raw and a rough way. Trust me, you're not going to like that. So it's important for you to make sure that you teach them at home. Let them know that when they see this guy, they should move this way. All right, we'll be coming back after the short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. We're still here, myself and the handsome guest, talking about at what stage do you think you should start discussing sex with your children? At what stage do you think that is? I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what do you think. What are you making out of all this? Are you the type that feel if your kids come back from school and they say, "Mommy, I heard about sex," and then you start beating them up? Or are you a type that would sit them down and educate them? Because like you said before we start, before we went on a break, you were talking about the issue of teenage pregnancy.
Yeah,
it's becoming too much.
It's becoming too much. Yeah.
How can we control this?
Once the thing is, I'm gonna talk for the ladies because I feel like all guys like sex. So
every woman likes sex. I promise
so
you.
For
this.
the ladies, especially for the kids, because now we focus on the kids. Once you have sex, it's gonna be hard for you to stop because this thing it's nice. So it's gonna be hard for you to stop. So I feel like the only way to stop about it is by talking about it and letting your kid know. If your kid is dating, let them know what's going on. Okay, so if you're dating, this must happen. Tell them about condomizing. I'm not talking about kids in primary though. Tell them about condomizing. They must know everything about what's going on in that field. Once you're in a relationship, the boy's gonna demand.
But you know also what you're saying also has to do with the relationship between the kids and their parents.
Yeah.
Because there are parents who are very, very strict. Strict in the sense that they won't see themselves sitting with their kids to say, my child, look, I think as my boy, you're 15 now. This is what you need to do for you to control yourself. My daughter, you're 15 now or you're 13. This is what you need to do for you to control yourself. Some parents will not create that conducive, that's relationship.
Selfish because they're actually looking out for themselves. That I'm a strict parent, I can't be talking to my kid about this. That's being selfish because you have. It's your kid.
Yeah.
It's your kid at the end of the day. If you don't tell them, who's gonna tell them?
The person who's gonna teach them in a very bad way. The only person
who loves them more is you as the parent. Nobody else. So you must learn to talk to them.
You know, I like these. These are topics that, like I say, I won't say it always say anything and everything without reservations, because these are topics that a lot of Christians are they're failing. They're failing woefully because they feel, how can somebody, me who's standing there out there to preach, talk to my kids about sex?
Yeah.
Talk to them about these things. Your first responsibility is your home.
Yeah, true.
Even as a pastor, as a parent, your first responsibility is to make sure that you get your home, put them together. So if you're failing to talk to your kids about sex and you just allow them that, okay, no, you know what parents, some fathers say, go, your mother will talk to you about it. Your mother should be the one talking to a gay child because, when they start seeing their period, it's the mother. Whatever is happening is your mother.
Yeah.
You don't know that as a father, you have a responsibility as well. To make because when they do that now, girls now grow up to feel, oh, so seeing my period is a sin. People are not supposed to, I'm not supposed to be close to people because of this. You are the one who's supposed to make, as a father, you're supposed to make your children feel comfortable with you first.
Yeah.
Instill that confidence in them.
Rather than for them to go seek for you in someone else.
By the time they start looking for that boy, to talk to that boy as their father, yeah.
It's game over.
It's game over straight up. Come on, will not allow you to rest. They will make sure they devour you in a way that your parents will not even recognize you anymore. That is what those boys will do. So, what is your final advice before we close the show? Because trust me, it's a very nice show. We're talking about the issue of at what stage. So, what is your advice to those parents out there?
To the parents,
Yeah.
Have the guts or find the guts within you to put your child down and tell them what the penis does to the VJJ.
Oh, that is the way it is. We're saying it or say it all without reservations. Trust me here as well. Thank you so much for that. And thank you so much for coming through, bro. I appreciate you.
I really appreciate you.
Looking forward to having you again. All right. And to the beautiful viewers out there, like I always say, without you guys, we won't be here doing what we're doing. I do this because, you know why I do this? I love the fact that you guys are out there watching us. And I like the fact that we're bringing some of these controversial topics to you. What the P is going to do to the VJ, trust me, like my brother here say, you don't know the damages. Let me tell you something. Or you want to know something. You see, you have a daughter in the house, you have a sister in the house who is always looking dirty in the house. By the time you see her started dressing and bathing every now and then, know that the guy is talking to her outside. I'm just telling you that from the experience. And then when they start talking to them, look, as a parent, if you pay attention to your kids, I'm saying this because I paid attention to my sisters, and I had to see a lot of beautiful sisters, by the way. I pay attention to them, and I saw some of these things while growing up. So I know that as a parent, you should pay attention to your kids. Make sure that they are your priority. Make sure you're talking to them. I don't care if you're a deacon, if you're a pastor, if you're a bishop, if you're an apostle, whatever it is that you are. It's never too late for you. Build a relationship with your children. Create a conducive environment, a conducive relationship that you make sure you talk to your kids Educate them, enlighten them about sex. What is sex to them? Explain to them, tell them the ramifications. Tell them if you do this is what is going to happen to you. And if you don't do this is not going to happen to you. Let me tell you a very funny story before I close the show. Some guy once told me, or elderly person told me that as a man, when you have sex with a woman, it's very painful. You will cry as a man. I was scared for my life. Throughout my high school, I never approached any woman because I didn't want to go through that pain.
That was kind of dope.
That was dope because they prevented me from doing so many things. I never touched a woman. I never kissed a woman throughout my high school because you know what? I was scared. I said I want to become a reverend father because I don't get married. I don't want to go through the pain. That's how I, in a way, psychologically, they worked on me. They made sure that they instill a mindset that made me believe that, you know what? This is wrong. Please try to educate your kids and let them understand. They're never too young. They're never too old for you to talk to them about everything. Yeah. I want to appreciate every one of you. I want to appreciate my team. I have behind the camera. I have my my favorite director, Bongani. I have cinematographer. I have Kamo. And I also have the co-director, Karabo. I have Shaman, who is the producer. I have these beautiful, amazing people who are doing wonderful things, who are making sure that every episode of Say It All, it is an amazing show. I want to say thank you. And I appreciate every one of you. Until I come your way again, I remain your lawyer. I love that. Your lawyer host. Until next time.